We've got some big news for AMD today. No, it's not the fact that the stock is now back closer to $100, down 1.9% throughout the day. And actually, well, the market was very much red when it opened. Now we're actually making our way back to the green, believe it or not. Volatility is through the roof. I believe the VIX in the last 5 days or so is up 30%. Now in this video, I want to talk about AMD, ZT System, the acquisition. I want to talk about the demand for AI not being over, not even close. We've had Sam Altman talk, we've had Gemini, we've had Grok. All of them said the same thing. So let's discuss all of that in this video. For those that don't know, AMD has a market cap right now of $167 billion. The trailing 12-month PE is at 103, but the forward PE sits at 22.1 times. If you want to look at what has happened in the past, go ahead. I'm investing in the AMD of the future, not the past. So without further ado, hit all the buttons. Would really appreciate that. If you want to support me even further, do check out the link down in the description and in the pinned comment to the top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to fool.com/couchinvestor. Thank you very much. Okay, so first up, main overview of what's going on right now in the market. Much greener right now at the time of making this video than an hour ago when the market basically opened. When the market opened, all of this was deep red. Now, yes, we still have an Nvidia that's down another 4%. Actually, Apple being up today still amazes me. Apple still above $200. Amazing. Microsoft red, Google red, Meta down 2%. We have a Palantir that is now down 3.5%, was down 9% or closer to 9% at the start of the day. As I said, AMD down 1.74% or so. We have Tesla down 4.75% as well. It was down way more when the market opened. So we are making our way back up, but that's not the focus of the video. The focus is this. So AMD completed the acquisition of ZT System. The strategic transaction combines industry-leading systems and rack-level expertise with AMD GPU, CPU, and networking silicon and open-source software to address the $500 billion data center AI accelerator opportunity in 2028. So the acquisition will enable a new class of end-to-end AI solution based on the combination of AMD CPU, GPU, and networking silicon, open-source AMD ROCm software, and rack-scale systems capabilities. It will also accelerate the design and deployment of AMD-powered AI infrastructure at scale optimized for the cloud. AMD expects the transaction to be accretive to a non-GAAP basis by the end of 2025. The world-class design teams will join the AMD Data Center Solution Business Unit led by AMD Executive Vice President Forrest Norrod. AMD is actively engaged with multiple strategic partners to acquire ZT Systems' industry-leading US-based data center infrastructure manufacturing business in 2025. So if one of these potential strategic partners does want to pay up $4 billion for that part of the business, I mean, that would mean that AMD paid $900 million for what's left of it. And I mean, could be a very good deal. AMD continued by saying, with the rapid pace of innovation in AI reducing the end-to-end design and deployment time of cluster-level data center AI systems will be a significant competitive advantage for our customers. We will offer customers both choice and speed to market, allowing them to invest in key areas where they choose to differentiate their AI offerings. Basically, this will allow AMD to compete directly with the NVIDIA DGX systems, for example. And so why does that make sense? Well, they've got expertise in AI infrastructure. So ZT Systems add around 1,000 engineers skilled in rack scale, hyperscale AI design, enhancing AMD's ability to deliver optimized solutions with its Instinct accelerators and EPYC CPUs. Acquire ZT Systems accelerates AMD's AI offerings for hyperscalers, for example, AWS, Microsoft, meeting urgent demand in the, previously $400 billion market. AMD expects that to be $500 billion market versus building capabilities from scratch. And this, of course, strengthens AMD's position in the AI boom, targeting growth in the MI series. So MI 400 probably is going to be the first big, contributor to that whole success, or hopefully a big success. So for the MI series GPUs, by addressing hyperscalers' need for fast, cohesive solutions. Remember, the MI350 was supposed to be for the back half of 2025. That's going to be for mid 2025, but I still think that's way too early for ZT Systems or what's left of ZT Systems to have an impact on that. MI400, since that is 12 months from today, could still have a big impact. Well, in my eyes, it will have a big impact. And remember, currently analysts are expecting AMD's revenue to only increase 23.4% year over year in 2025, and then 20.7% in fiscal 26, and then just 14.8% in fiscal 2027. I think they are underestimating the business here and the growth story, because yes, I do think that data center will continue to be the largest segment of the business, but I think that the market is just underestimating all the rest here. The resurgence, let's say, of the gaming and the embedded segment that should start in the second half of this year, completely ignored. That could add probably another $1 billion to their revenue. And then we have the client side of things, which continues to do very well. And remember, reporting wise, we're going to have client and gaming in the same segment. Now, moving on to the AI story. So we've had, of course, since the end of 2022, which by the way is just 2.5 years ago. 2.5 years ago, the whole game year changed, right? Because ChatGPT got released and then, the whole hype cycle started. Just 2.5 years. Now, in those 2.5 years, of course, you have that whole training phase. You have the training phase and you have the phase of build outs, which we're still in, right? Remember, 2.5 years. That's it. So I agree, and I've been saying this as well. Right now, we've been hearing about so much capex, hundreds of billions of dollars, but let's be honest. Has it already changed society? Has it already changed anything that drastically? To be honest, no, not yet. Not yet, because we are still in the early phase. Now, last week, you've probably noticed all of the Ghiblified images, Simpsonified images, whatever you want to call them, they were everywhere. That's because ChatGPT released a specific model. Okay, cool. Is that why we're spending hundreds of billions of dollars? No, but this just shows you what will happen in the future, because this is the inference part of things. And as we've heard from Jensen, we are going to be needing 10, 100 times more compute in the future. So right now, what do we have? We have Sam Altman saying, can you all please chill on generating images? This is insane. Our team needs to sleep. We just haven't been able to catch up since launch, so people are still working to keep the service up. Biblical demand. I've never seen anything like it. It's super fun seeing people love images in ChatGPT, but our GPUs are melting. We're going to temporarily introduce some rate limits while we work on making it more efficient. Hopefully won't be long. ChatGPT free tier will get 3 generations per day soon. Now, in the future, this unacceptable, of course, right? In the future, a user like you and me will not want to have rate limits, right? And I don't think we're going to go, or maybe we will, but that's the worst case scenario in my eyes, where we will have to pay for search in the future. I really hope we're not going into that direction. But imagine you go on Google search right now and you tap something, you press enter, and you have to wait 30 seconds to a minute to get your answer or whatnot. Unacceptable, right? The same in my eyes will happen with the ChatGPTs, with the Geminis, the Grok, etc. In the future, it will be unacceptable for a user to wait 30 to a minute to get an answer, an image, or whatnot. For that to be, a possibility or reality, you will, of course, need, first of all, you have to optimize your software, basically what they're saying right here, making it more efficient. And 2, a lot more compute. Because at the moment, believe it or not, we live in the investing in the probably AI semiconductor bubble. But believe it or not, the large majority of people around the globe still don't use these things. Or at least, maybe they've tried it once, but don't really use it on a daily basis. Imagine if 1 billion plus people started to use these services. Not just ChatGPT, but ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, Meta AI, etc., etc. The GPUs will not be melting. They will just not exist anymore. if this remains the same. We've had a post by Grok. Grok is seeing high usage across the world, and we're working hard to scale the GPUs up to meet the demand. You might see some temporary issues as we scale. Gemini said the same. Gemini 2.5 Pro is taking off, the team is sprinting, TPUs are running hot, and we want to get our most intelligent model into more people's hands as soon as possible, which is why we decided to roll out Gemini 2.5 Pro experimental to all Gemini users beginning today. Now, here as well, the demand was so big that if you're a free user, it is quite limited. If you're paying for the service, then it's not, but still, there is that little friction that still exists. And this just goes to show that when we are talking about inference, when we are talking about the next phase, right, the phase where more and more useful apps and services get created, not just silly images, because I don't think where these companies are investing so much just for the image generators and the memes and the hype around the internet. No, but in the future, once these things actually become, well, valuable to our day-to-day lives, whether it's going to be through, I don't know, voice AI because we have a robot or FSD or something else, I don't know. You're going to need way more compute. You're going to need a very, very efficient software as well. Because like I said, this is going to be unacceptable for a user to be waiting 30 to a minute to get an image, a video, an answer. It's going to be unacceptable. And so yes, I do think that in the future, just like we have now on Google search, you go on Google search, you press enter, you don't even have time to blink, the answers are already popping up on your screen. You have multiple pages with lots of links, and now with AI overviews, you actually have your answers on top. If you need more, you can just continue that search journey. But it happens instantly. And I think that's where we're going. And I think that's why we're going to need way more compute, which is going to be great for the likes of NVIDIA, for the likes of AMD, hopefully Intel as well, Micron definitely. So yeah, all in all, what happened last week is just the tip of the iceberg, in my opinion. Plus ZT System acquisition completed, great news as well. So yeah, the market right now might seem red. It is reddish, although turning a little bit more greenish. At the time of making this video, S&P is only down 0.4%, Dow is actually up 0.2%, but the Nasdaq is still down 1.37%. So I still think April 2nd, that's the day where things will flip, although I've been wrong before, Tom Lee has been wrong before, and in the meantime, I'll just buy more and more shares. So that's all. Leave your thoughts and comments down in the comment section below if you agree with me or not. Do all of that in the comment section. Hit all the buttons, would really appreciate that. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.